What's up, guys? It's Eventon here. So I turned on the camera today because I think it's going to be a bit easier to get my point across if I have the camera on. And I'm really going to challenge myself to actually get on topic within like the first minute of this video. I'm going to be talking about the Hypernet relay. I think it's perfectly fine as is. I don't think there's anything misleading or weird or scammy about the current mechanics as they are now. I think we all can agree that the spamming of the links is a bit excessive. I actually did a community post 2 days ago about the Hypernet relay, just getting people's opinions, and so I got some really good feedback and some ideas. So I'm going to be covering some of those in the video today, as well as some ones I've just seen online in general. So I'm going to be tackling each of those, and it's not me saying, hey, you're wrong, this isn't how you should be viewing the Hypernet relay. It's just me giving you a different perspective and letting you guys at the end of the day make up your mind on whether I've kind of changed your mind or at least the way you view the Hypernet relay at the end of the day. So the first thing I hear all the time is that the Hypernet relay is a scam. Some people actually go in depth as to why it's a scam. Some people just say it's a scam, end of story. At least for me, there's really only two ways something can actually be a scam in EVE Online and as the mechanics as they are, at least in my opinion. And it kind of ties with hauling. I actually did a video a while back talking about hauling contracts and how to avoid scam and gang contracts. So one way something can be a scam is that there's a 0% chance to win. There's a 0% chance, so at least as it pertains to hauling, you accept a contract and once you accept it, they deny you docking access and kind of any privileges or any way to interact with the Citadel. It's impossible to deliver it. There's a 0% chance. Obviously, we know that's not the case with the Hypernet relay. Even if it's a very, very small percent chance, it's not impossible to win. The second way is for a scam is that you just don't get what's advertised. So if someone puts up a rattlesnake and you win the Hypernet relay and it's actually a scorpion or it looks something completely different, that's a scam. So similarly to the people that advertise, in Gita hey, 1 million ISK geckos. It says it's 1 million ISK until you click on the contract. It's not as advertised. You click it and it doesn't work. So at least with the Hypernet relay, you know what your chances are, how much you're paying, and what you're getting if you win. So at least in that sense, personally, I don't think that's a scam. Another thing I hear all the time, and it's tied very closely to the first reason I just mentioned, is because Hypernet relay is a scam because people buy half their tickets, or it reduces my chances of winning. Let me ask this, does it really though? Let's say there's a Hypernet node for 100 tickets. I know it doesn't exist, but just to keep it simple. Let's say you only had enough ISK to buy 1 ticket, so you have a 1% chance of winning. Does it really matter if the other 99 tickets were owned by 99 other people, or if those other tickets were all owned by one person? Because either way, you still have a 1% chance to win. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I guess you could make the argument that it's taken away your chances if, let's say, you wanted to buy more than half the tickets for whatever reason, and they already bought half. At that point, I feel like you would either just take the 50-50 and you buy out the rest, or you would just find a different Hypernet offer where someone didn't buy half their tickets, and you would just play the higher chances that way. But I'm not sure about that kind of argument. But at the end of the day, I think people are so focused on the outcome, and the reason why people buy half their tickets and they're usually winning is because they took the risk. They invested half the amount of ISK in order to buy half the tickets. And at the end of the day, that 50% isn't taking away your chances of winning based on how much you invest. So like I said, if the other 99 people, it doesn't matter if the other 99 tickets are owned by one person or 99 people. They're not taking away your chances of winning individually. You only invested 1 ticket. You only get a 1% chance. That, it is what it is. So I think people are too focused on the outcome and continually seeing the host of the Hypernet relay winning, and not so much focused on the statistical probability and their chances of winning that's sitting right in front of their face. All right, I'm going to try and keep this next one short and not get too deep, but because I think it's more of a personal thing and where you grew up and where you live, like country-wise, which is a lot of people say gambling is bad, or that this type of mechanic, Hypernet relay, is bad for people that do have gambling addictions. Me personally, I live 6 hours away from Las Vegas. And that is the biggest gambling capital literally in the world. You have people come from all over to enjoy themselves and gamble and all that kind of stuff. I understand some other countries, gambling is literally outright illegal, or it's only sanctioned through the government. So I understand that kind of perspective. So that's just a personal thing. At least as it pertains to, it's bad for people that do have gambling addictions. Just because this kind of mechanic exists, it doesn't mean CCP or even the people that put up the offers or that bid on the offers, it doesn't mean they don't care about them. It's kind of like saying, oh, I'm more of a cat person. And then they go back and say, well, then that sounds like you must not care about dogs that get left on side of the road. It's like, no, I didn't say that, but it might be kind of a terrible analogy, but just because a mechanic like this exists, it doesn't mean obviously they don't care. But But the 99.999% of people that do play EVE Online don't have that, that kind of personal issue. And people that do deal with gambling addictions are always going to find some sort of outlet, whether it's other parts within the game to gamble on, whether it's a horse and dog racing, fantasy league, whatever it is, they're always going to find some sort of outlet. So we kind of have to, at least me personally, I feel like there needs to be some sort of separation between personal responsibility of the person that is, obviously addicted to gambling, and game creators and developers that their job is to basically provide us, or at least in CCP's case, give us a wonderful universe that is very immersive, that kind of can simulate what's going to happen thousands of years, from now, revolving around the lore, and that we can all enjoy with our friends and family and random people online. I think that's all really cool. I really hope that there's games of chance that are going to happen thousands of years from now. Honestly, if CCP put in half the stuff that lore-wise, like the Galente had, I think gambling would be like the last issue that people would kind of take up when it pertains to that. So that's just my take on it. Like, at the end of the day, just because CCP has something like this in, it doesn't mean that they don't care, or even the people that put up the orders and all that stuff. But it's just a game of chance. At the end of the day, your chances and the likelihood of it happening. It's not CCP's issue or responsibility to censor all this stuff, because if that's the case, now we can't have drugs. In any kind of games or any kind of entertainment medium, we can't have tobacco, we can't have alcohol, we can't have exotic dancers, because we can't have all this stuff because people might be addicted to it. Then all of a sudden games are, you can just tell a lot of game developers would be walking on eggshells. It wouldn't be very immersive, and it just wouldn't be the same, at least in my opinion. All right, and I know that last one was a bit long, so I'll keep this next one short. Is that basically the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, however that phrase is said in this instance. I mean, honestly, EVE Online has always been this way. People that have a lot of ISK have access to more resources, more things. They build bigger ships that can sell them for more profit, all kinds of stuff. That has literally always been the case. If anything, Hypernet Relay has just made it more obvious for people to see. So when someone puts up 30 rattlesnakes on the Hypernet Relay and they buy half the tickets for all of them, obviously that requires a lot of ISK. But at least in this instance, the little guy actually has a chance to actually win a rattlesnake, or win something that is much larger than what they can afford. Because before, you couldn't really do that. You're only limited to the 30 million ISK you have. So at least now the little guy actually has a chance, rather than the big people always making more money, and there's no way for the little guy to kind of rise up. All right, in this next part here, we're going to do a bit of number crunching. I blew up the UI so it's easier to see, especially for you guys that are on your phone. Is that the prices for Hypernet Relay items are really overpriced, and it's a ripoff. It's not worth it. We're just doing some simple math here. As you can see, I just did Master Arms Cerebral Accelerators because it's literally almost exactly 100 million. So let's say we bought it for 100 million. We put it back up for 100 million. We're just going to lose ISK because there's literally a 10% tax between the Hypernet Relay fee at 5%, and the Hypernet cores are also like a 5% tax, because it's like 5% of the price. Roughly. So if we put this up as is, and it's not including the hypercores, we're only getting 90 million ISK after we spend 100 million. So obviously right then and there, we're losing money, which is why I think some people typically put it up at about 12.5% at least, like higher. Because again, I did the math here. It's roughly, I think it's like 6 million or maybe 5.5 million or so. And at that point, we're only making a 1 million S profit if we separate 5.5 million from that total. So we're only making it 1 million S profit, and it's just not worth it. Now, how people are actually profiting off these items, and again, I'm just going to keep it very simple. I'm keeping that at 100 million to, again, keep it easy for you guys. If we put it at 100 million, let's say we want to buy half our ticket. So already, remember, we're only getting 90 million back if we're winning. But because we want to buy half our tickets, that's 50 million. So at this point, if we win, we buy half our tickets at 50. We're only making 40 million in profit. I'm going to put the math on the right side so it's a bit easier to follow along. So we're only making 40 million. So in order for us to pay off that 100 million we initially invested, we would have to win 3 times, which is not likely, especially if you compare it to 2 times, which is why most people tend to put the price a bit higher at, like, let's say like 120 million. Because at 120 million, we would only have to win twice in order for us to make our money back. But we still only invested 100 million. So that number doesn't really change, like the base amount that we had to invest in order to win. So realistically, the people that are taking the biggest risk are the people that are actually putting up the Hypernet offers, because they're losing if this doesn't get fulfilled. They lose their Hypernet Relay fee, they lose the hypercore. The hypercores, it just literally just disappears in thin air. CCP keeps it, whatever they do. They're the ones taking the biggest risk, and they basically have to win at least 2 times in order to make a profit or break even, depending on the price point that they put it up for. And so they're actually taking the biggest risk. And if anything, I think they're actually doing a service to the people on the Hypernet Relay, because if we left it at 8 nodes, let's say I won this Cerebral Accelerator 3 times. So I made a profit and I keep putting it up again. at the point that I've won it 3 times, and let's say there's only 4 slots open because we're doing 8, each person only buys 1 ticket. So if I put this up the first time, only 8 people can participate. They each buy 1 ticket. Only 8 people have a chance at the Cerebral Accelerator, and then it's done. Usually that person's just going to use it, and it can't be on the market anymore. But if I win 3 times, each time 4 people actually bid on it. So now actually 12 people actually had a shot at winning the Cerebral Accelerator. So basically these Hypernet people are actually just recycling items and just giving everyone an equal chance to win, whether it's a 1 in 8 chance, 2 in 8, 3 in 8, whatever you're willing to invest a chance to win. They're just kind of recycling those items over and over and just giving everyone at least a chance to win it. You know, it would be a bit different if everyone just won it and everyone just used it. I think there would definitely be less items up on the Hypernet Relay. So if anything, I think these guys are actually doing a service. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below on that comment. All right, and now we're in the home stretch, and I'll wrap this up. I just kind of want to talk about the goods and bads about Hypernet Relay, at least in my opinion. In my opinion, the only bad thing that I could think of is really just the lots of spam with the Hypernet Relay links. Again, I'm trying to come up with a solution. Maybe you can only do like 5 links a day, so each Hypernet Relay thing, like offer only lasts 3 days, so maybe you only get 15 links. So you have to be kind of smart with the way you do it. I'm not sure how to tackle that, but there is an issue when it comes to people that can just jump into every single in-game channel in the game and just spam their link. That could be quite annoying. At least for the good things, obviously Hypernet Relay is really good at selling like rare exclusive items, officer modules, because not everyone just has like 50 billion in their wallet in order to buy it off the market. So being able to put it up on the Hypernet Relay and have people buy portions of it and giving everyone a chance, even the little guy, to have a chance to win, at least there's that available. And it makes it that much easier for the seller too, just to kind of get it out of their inventory. The second thing is obviously selling similar kind of point, which is like selling abyssal modules, blueprint copies, and even sometimes, very rarely, I've seen it only a handful of times, like T2 BPOs, which are very rare. They're limited. They're not going to make any more of certain types. So being able to sell those, and again, not everyone has a ton of ISK in their wallet, being able to sell portions of it is pretty nice too. Controlling your chances of winning with ISK rather than like a loot box system. Someone mentioned that it's a loot box system. I would argue that the abyssal module system is like more of a loot box thing, because you're putting it in there. You could end up with something worse. You have no idea what you're going to get. You have no idea what your odds are based on like where the things are going to move. So you could end up with something worse. Where the Hypernet Relay, you know your odds. It's 1 in 512, 1 in 8, whatever it is. And you know exactly what you're getting. So loot box system, you could actually end up getting something much worse, and you have no idea what the odds are of winning a certain thing. You might know what's in the loot box, but you have no idea what your chances are of getting each individual item. And it's also much better than third-party websites, as well as it can be easily manipulated with like third-party websites. I know that was some stuff that happened in the past before I played Eve. People doing kind of gambling systems and casinos and stuff, and they might have gotten shut down because it's very easy to manipulate it, which you've seen in the past before with like CSGO and things like that. Those kind of like raffle and gambling systems where all it takes is a couple of changes in the code and for certain types of people to win all the time. So that's why that's in place. And I think if anything, it's better that it's actually sanctioned through CCP rather than like some sort of sketchy, shady third-party website where they can manipulate it that only certain people can win. And that's pretty much it, guys. I appreciate it if you guys got up to this point. And if anything, I'm actually doing a secret giveaway. I'm actually giving away a Rupture Scope Syndicate skin with this video. So if you guys stayed this long, I appreciate you. All I need down below in the comments is your in-game name and just a comment about the Hypernet Relay. Did I change your mind? Am I talking out of my bottom? Did I make some points? Are you going to start doing Hypernet Relay? Because to be honest, I've never done Hypernet Relay. You look at my history here. I've never bought, sold, or done anything on there, but I actually might start taking it up. You guys might see my orders up there here in the near future, because I think it's something that's pretty profitable. Everyone has an equal chance. So that's all I need from you guys. In-game name, and just if I changed your mind, or how do you guys feel about the Hypernet Relay after this video. I appreciate you guys so much. And of course, you fly safe.